Hey YouTube, coming at you with the viewer submitted team from really early in the season. I'm just getting to it now, so thank you AA Berg. They said this is the first time I've seriously used Wiggly for Great League, as I mostly did not have a high ranked one in prior seasons. Plus I could not find myself in the past to use the old school Wiggly and Bastiodon Shadow Vic line. This is the rank 4 Wiggly, and the team overall is a bit soft to a fire lead. You can do it okay with fires. But since Talonflame is realistically one of the few you'll see in the meta, I generally will stay in with Wiggly and charm them down, soft lose, and hope I can make something in the work back. 29 and 11 on the season with this team, again, earlier in the season. I considered running Wiggly double water. No, I think MAROWAK and LAPRAS is fine. They're both pretty good. Both can be used as safe swaps. I was a bit slow on swapping some battles, but I think for the most part I'm winning games I should win in these sets. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for this mission. Sorry, I'm just getting to around it now. The play, again, these were earlier in the seasons, but they did said that they are regularly a 2600 elo player, so that's why I put the 2600 in. Let's take a look at the battles. Obviously Morpeko is a fantastic lead, so they will probably get out and do something. That's something being a Talonflame. Coming in with the Lapras. The problem with Lapras is that it is half ice, so these incinerates are neutral, and the fly would chip, and you are Shadow, so you are really taking a lot more damage. But, I mean, at the same time, this should output a lot of damage. But, okay, take it out. If you get the Sparkling RF, this will be significant. So, if they do not shield, this will be down in, like, the yellow. So they do shield, recognizing how much that would hurt. They're farming a bit. And, you know. Sorry, a bird. Okay. Then, Wiggly on Wiggly here. When you have a MAROWAK in the back, you can just align that with the Morpeko. So staying in here and just playing this matchup out is fine. Going for Icy Wind. Swift is just better damage per energy. I know you're trying to lower those. And now I'm gonna come in here and try and get ahead on energy so that you can. And not that it matters. Between the fast move damage of the two, you should do fine. Lapras. Gonna stay in this matchup. Yeah, you can take a Sparkling Aria and then you can get a Swift, so it's gonna be pretty close in the zeros. I was looking over because I heard like a huge bang outside. I'm in my basement, and there was like a blackbird that just like landed on something out there. So it's either the bird made that noise or it hit my house or something fell. I don't know what's going on out there. Okay, going to just let this go down as I would as well. Going to come mirror match, knowing that realistically they're only going to have resisted moves here, unless they have a Skull Bash, but for the most part, most likely resisted move, and you can farm down and come out with energy. Oh, it is a Skull Bash, so there you go. Never assume. But do have energy. Out comes their Wiggly, so I think 2 Sparkling Arias will probably take it out, especially from a Shadow Lapras. But gonna just throw the 1 and then get into here, and a Soul Rock for them is game over. Easily grab the second shield or take them out, but if they're likely shield and try and grab one, okay, yeah. Or they're just gonna top left knowing that they have no shot here. Okay, you know what? Wiggly can just try and no-charm you. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think they have a win con. Okay, Ferret. Sucker Punch resisted. Out comes a Togetic. You know, this is where it gets weird. Okay, you have Icy Wind, so you're just staying in this matchup to play it out, because you know you have Icy Wind, the charms are adding up, you can take Switch. Switch for what though? You are double weak to grass in the back, and you had a Wiggly which resists the Sucker Punch, which is what Fred is so deadly with. So you did take it you took a shield advantage here. But now you like let the Sucker Punches, which are a hard-hitting move, free, and a potential to boost that. You're gonna have to start shielding up everything here too. So I don't know. I mean, you're gonna chip it here and then come in MAROWAK and just you have enough. The thing is with this team, there's a lot of fast move pressure with this team. Psywave, Shadow Psywave, Shadow Mudslap, and a Charm user, right? So there's a lot of fast move pressure on this team. So you can sort of work through some of these matchups here. But getting to a Mudslap on the Cladle here. Here comes the second one. What do they have? Rock Tomb and maybe Ice Beam, maybe Scorching Sands. I think it's probably worth the shield to take this out. Because Sideways resisted. Again, I don't know. I forgot how much energy you have on the other one. They do throw the resisted Rock Tomb. Both instant swap. That allows you to... You'll get to it. You'll get to a Sparkling Aria here. So, okay. Take this out for the win. Okay, Morpeko. Again, great lead. Golisopod. Whoa. Okay. What are we doing here? So maybe you wrote that in a... Let me just see if you wrote up... in this one battle, I made a huge mistake here. No, you have not. You did not. Okay. So you had... Let me just explain. First of all, I mean, bug resist ground. So going into that matchup is just bad immediately. But I think what you need to do is you like, and I see this with like some people too, being like, Wiggly is such a dominating match against Morpeko. I am going to just save that alignment. I'm going to go there and I'm going to try and they swapped. I'm going to swap and try and keep that Wiggly on the Morpeko. In doing so, one, you don't have a good answer for... Your best answer is Lapras, but it's not even a good answer because Sparkling Aria and Ice Beam are resisted and Mud Slap and Bone Club are resisted. So your best answer for Golisopod is Wiggly. Not only because charms are neutral, but because if they're running Shadow Claw is double resisted on the normal typing. So they have to just go Aqua Jet when they get to it. Otherwise, they're not going to do much damage. You can easily take that matchup. And it's one thing if you have like two... Like if you had like Feraligatr and Lapras in the back, then I'd say, yeah, sure. Go into one of those and try and fight for switch because those two are going to get killed by Morpeko. But you have a Marowak. So the right play in this matchup would have been just to stay in, take the resisted claws, out charm, swift. You'll easily take it in the multiple shield scenario, and then align with Marowak in the back. But you came in to lose a Pokemon. You're going to lose your second Pokemon here, and just hope that they don't have like a Steel in the back here, essentially, or a Fire. And they don't. They have a Grumpig, so you know what? This is not the worst, because you can still potentially, you know, if you're running Morpeko, you probably should have an answer for Fairy and Fighting. They have an answer for Fighting. This is a Psywave user, and they had a bug, which is Golisopod, which works. But now they're just going to try and put on the pressure here, which you're going to have to shield the second move up and commit to the farm down and get to a Swift, which you still may. So you still may win this matchup. Like, I would be throwing the Swift, going for the Icy Wind. I don't think there's a point of going for the Icy Wind. I would just do the more damage with Swift because it's just charm range, right? So if you did that Swift damage, that would have taken... I mean, that took it out anyways, but you would have just taken it out quicker as opposed to the Icy Wind doesn't help you there. Just go for the harder hitting move. Okay, Drapion lead, assuming that they are just running Aqua Tail Crunch. They can only go Aqua Tail here. The poison is adding up, but we're at a Swift. You could live another Aqua Tail and get to the Swift and just take it in the zeros here. 1 HP, and they catch on a Dust Noir, so that is very unfortunate. Swift double resisted, going straight into Marowak here. They're going to get to a move and win CMP. It is just Shadow Punch, so you will live, but yeah, Shadow on Shadow, it would hurt. So opting to shield this. They do shield back. They're going to get to a move here. 3, I think it is. Yeah, so if you want to... I mean, you don't have to. You can live this, and you'll have Lapras in the back, which is still good Pokemon, and you have energy here. Unfortunately, it is a Psywave user, a Psychic Psywave user, so that your Psywave will be resisted. And they have Dynamic Punch, and you are a Shadow. And they're going to outpace you. Pacing is actually very, very, very close. So now the question is, does back-to-back Dynamic Punches take you out? Because this is essentially what is happening here. And I take it that you are reading that is the case. But now you're going to be too low. They can just Psywave you down both scenarios here. Yeah, that's... Spirit Tomb, half Ghost, half Dark, so they're going to get out of there. Lapras comes in. You know, it's a weird one. You can live. And yeah, I don't mind that. I was going to say either chip with Swift or now you can just mirror match. Now the mirror match, you're going to win just because unless they have like unshielded Skull Bash, then maybe it gets a little interesting. But outside of that, it's just going to be a pretty easy. There's a Skull Bash. It's going to be close now because of their defense boost. Ooh, 1 HP. As I'll say, that's where it would have got close. 1 HP live here on our end. Oh, you got to get a move off there. And out comes a Fortress, where this is kind of nice. Mud Slap is neutral. You're resisting the Volt switches. I would still probably shield up moves here, because they would probably hurt. I know it has Earthquake as one option. They just go for the Rock too. Which is obviously resisted, but you have 2 shields and your Wiggly so low, so that just makes it an easier bait because you almost have to shield. But gonna let this one go. It is the Earthquake on this one. And now coming into the Wiggly, gonna lower its attack here with Icy Wind. They're gonna this is one where they're gonna shield because they have like no health left on anything else, so that's a easier bait there. Oh, plus they're ghost, so it's not a bait because Swift would be resisted, as you're going to find out right here. Is resisted. One more charm, take it out. And Volt Switch. Nope, charm, combo. Take each other out for the win. Yes, this is earlier in the season, but I don't have a lot of submissions. You guys have, maybe we'll talk about that in a few, like after these matchups, about the submissions. About next season, about why there has just been not a lot. Okay, for Red's staying in, that's fine. Swift will chip. Brick Break. Interesting. Could be Brick Break Swift. That could be kind of an interesting combo. Swift lands. They may get their own Swift off here. And with the Brick Break, this could probably put you in the red. Uh-oh. Your opponent, I'm guessing, is just going to leg out here. So let's just fast forward this. They eventually get back, but by that time, damage is done. Okay, let's go into this next matchup against Talonflame lead. So you mentioned that you're just going to stay in this matchup. I mentioned, yeah, you have 2 answers for fire in the back, but not really with Marowak, Mudslap being resisted on the flying. So they do, that's unfortunate. Where do you go from here? Going into the Psywave user Lapras, which is weak to rollout because you are half, and they could have Skull Bash, so this could be a pretty bad situation for you. Yeah, shielding, it is a Skull Bash. Psywaves are adding up just because you're a Shadow, but Skull Bash just boosted their defense, and you're going to need at least 2 here. They do shield the first one, so that's kind of nice. Maybe expecting that you had your own Skull Bash, which they are looking to get to their second here. It's probably a Skull Bash. Yeah, I'm going to respect that Skull Bash. And it is unfortunately on a zoom roll in the back. And this is rough. Yeah, basically just going to try and sacrifice this. Maybe you get a Bone Club off to put it, hopefully in a couple Sparkling Aria ranges, but this is a tough situation here. Only going to get to 1 move, so opting for Rock Slide, which I think is slightly more damage. Like, not much more, but slightly more. Do put it to the yellow. Trying to burn the Switch Clock because hoping that you can make a catch on Wiggly, but I don't think the Switch Clock's going to be burned anywhere enough. But you have 2 moves, so maybe you can burn it with these 2 moves. So here comes the first one, and they do get to a move here. Play Rough will basically take you out. Talonflame comes in, but they have a shield, so they will just shield this up and incinerate you down. And have a move coming out here for your Wiggly. Okay, Blastoise. This is fine. This is almost where we want to see it. Hydros will come pretty quick with the spammy rollouts. You'll live one, obviously, but maybe need to shield up the next one here. And they get out into Drapion. Are we going to just... what are we doing here? I'm surprised you're not getting into Marowak. I know Marowak is weak to water, but they're weak to ground and poison is resisted. So I think you need to make that switch much sooner. You'll take a super effective move here, but that's okay. I think if you make that switch sooner, you would have easily taken that matchup and with your shields intact, or matched them 1 for 1. So now they got to burn that shield. They'll get a Hydro off here. Take you out here. And again, this is where we're in a weird situation because you burn the energy on Wiggly. So we're going to come in here, get into a Sparkling Aria. Hopefully it's enough to take out Blastoise as a water Pokemon. They do shield. Okay, I'd respect the Skull Bash. Yeah, if you're opting to shield, you could bait and stuff, but opting, yeah, probably just going straight for the Skull Bash, boosting that defense. And they try to catch on Amanda Buzz, but we do hold back and get to the Ice Beam. There's one. Do have the Wiggly, so want to try and catch. Yeah, trying to catch, or just put pressure on their fast move, which is also fine. Now put them in Sparkling Aria ranges with after those couple charms there, which is huge, right? Because you probably would have needed a second Ice Beam at the half health, but you did not need it at the quarter health. And now can Psywave down for the win there. This time we're just going instant swap here, which they probably have an answer, but it is a Azumarill. Azumarill's tough. Yeah, here comes the Ice Beam too. You may be able to get a shield back in the ending here, but it's going to be a pretty tough flip of this matchup here. So going for a CMP, getting to the move. This still won't even take him out. They do end up shielding though, losing on the... Yeah, it was the CMP, so you can't get to the next move. But just going to let it go. It is an Ice Beam. It does take you out. Where are you going to go here? I'm surprised you're going here. I'm actually surprised you're not just getting ahead on Psywave energy, knowing that bubble is resisted. On the Lapras, just a Shadow Lapras just has probably a lot of damage output. So I'm surprised you are just not getting so far ahead on the Psywave that if this came in after, you probably already had a Sparkling Aria. Whereas opposed to now, you got to come in resisted Psywaves while they maybe get ahead on energy here. Because now they're going to be at a crunch. You don't want to shield the first one in case your defense falls. And it is a Drifblim in the ending here. I mean, the bait is correct. The question is, does it matter? You got to throw the Ice Beam right away because these moves are really adding up on you. Sparkling Aria is not going to be enough. Shadow on Shadow maybe, but after the Icy Wind, probably not. Trying to come in and charm down but yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, so I think in the last matchup, you come in with your Lapras, knowing that you have a Drapion on the front, come in with your Lapras into the Azumarill, Psywave all the way down. Even if you take a play rough there, that's okay, knowing that you're going to come out with a Sparkling Aria. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about Wiggly, but I do like Lapras and Marowak. And you know what? Even though Lapras is not better ranked as a Shadow, I prefer playing with the Shadow as well. I played with it. I played with both non-Shadow and Shadow. I do prefer the Shadow, even though it's not better ranked. Anyways, thanks for the submissions. Hope everyone has having a good weekend. We'll have my Legend team tomorrow. Let me just confirm that my dates are correct with everything here. So I have, yeah, yesterday was my second last team before I hit Legend. Today's this team. Tomorrow morning will be my Legend team. And then probably tomorrow afternoon is the Home Slice Henry interview. Anyways, so that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.